We're tracking breaking news on this Wednesday morning. Let's take a live look at Home Park in North Fargo. Police in both Fargo and Moorhead spent a few hours overnight searching north side neighborhoods like this one in both cities. They were looking for at least one person who they say took off after a chase and a car crash. Police are not releasing a lot of details right now, but dispatchers have confirmed with Valley News Live that the crash happened along South Woodcrest Drive in North Fargo around 1:20 this morning. There's no word yet on how it all started or if anyone's been taken into custody. Be sure to stay with Valley News Live for updates on this breaking story. New this morning, Fargo Fire is asking smokers to take better care of putting out their cigarettes after a deck fire on the city's south side. Firefighters were called to 4961 44th Avenue South in Fargo just before midnight after someone spotted a fire on a nearby apartment building's deck. Firefighters say the small fire was mostly put out when they arrived. The fire did not get inside the building, but it did burn a couple of deck boards. Minnesota restaurant owners are about to get their marching orders for reopening. The group Hospitality Minnesota says guidelines to be revealed today are expected to focus on 4 pillars: sanitation, personal hygiene, social distancing, and personal protection. After more than 2 months of only curbside pickup and delivery, many businesses are eager to welcome back dine-in customers. But some worry about unknown requirements that could be announced today, such as the potential need for glass barriers. Something like that could take a few weeks to get installed and, of course, could come close to the anticipated restart date of June 1st. The United States is beginning to reopen, including both North Dakota and Minnesota, as they have started to partially reopen. There are still some restrictions in place, but people are starting to venture out of their homes. The Valley Today's Abby Furchner joins us live this morning with some important advice. As we, go out into this new normal, we still want to keep ourselves and our families safe.
Yeah, good morning, Lisa. It's not quite time for us to completely let our guards down, but businesses, restaurants, gyms and salons and other places are all flipping their closed signs to open in many states. But even though restrictions are continuing to ease, Sanford Dr. Avish Nagpal says we still need to keep ourselves safe and adapt to this new normal. I know we've all heard it before, but he says it's important to continue practicing social distancing. Good hand hygiene is important, so consider carrying your own hand sanitizer. And the #1 rule right now is to wear a mask when venturing out. Dr. Nagpal says the more we continue to practice these things, the less weird it will feel.
If you make it a habit, then it will come naturally to you and you don't have to think it twice. Make it a habit to just wear a mask every time you go out. The longer you keep it on, the less your risk is of exposing others.
I like how he said the less your risk is of exposing others. I thought that was a really good reminder that we are still all in this together. So it's important that we continue to keep each other safe during this time.
Great reminders this morning. Abby Furchner reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. Let's get a check now of that first alert storm team forecast as we're hoping for another warm day. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green, who's working from home. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. We've got that in store. Warm weather and conditions that are going to be more on the breezy side yet again today. We do have to put up with some more clouds this morning. That's the one exception that will be not so nice for us to start off here. We're looking at temperatures that are in the 50s and low 60s. It's currently 59 degrees in Fargo and 54 in Grand Forks, some low 60s over in Lakes Country. A nice mild start to the day. Remember when we were struggling to get to 60 just last week? Now we're here and we're looking at some milder weather coming up for the rest of the day too. I do want to point out that visibility is a little lower over to the west, and we're looking at visibility reports down to 3 miles in Carrington. So no dense fog, but just something to watch out for here. And winds that are out of the south that are once again brisk in spots. We've got a gust to 25 in Cooperstown, Devil's Lake 24 miles per hour, and 21 in Oaks. And that nice south wind, though, really going to make a difference, even as we are dealing with some overcast skies this morning. Tough to make out on our satellite map here, but there are those that low layer of thin clouds that are going to be impacting us here this morning. And that's going to keep us more on that gray side yet again today. Here's that look at our hour-by-hour planner. Notice by noon, starting to see that overall coverage of the cloud cover breaking up a little at that point, and temperatures on the rise back into the 70s, and maybe one or two of us getting close to that 80-degree mark this afternoon. And those clouds really do give way, so we end up with some sunshine yet again to round out our daytime hours. The wind, though, that's still going to be an issue. We're still looking at those gusts into the 20s, even some low 30s at times. And then tonight we should end up with a pretty pleasant evening. We're looking at temperatures into the 60s through the overnight hours in some locations, starting off tomorrow with a few clouds. A look at that 7-day planner again, a more active weekend ahead for the holiday weekend. There will be some breaks in between. Right now, Saturday looks like we might get a bit of a break, and then again on Memorial Day as well. So warmer, but more active here into the weekend. Time now for traffic. Let's check in with Devin Fry with the Valley Today's traffic on the move.
Thanks, Lisa. We're finishing up our drive for this hour on I-29. We are heading south. Now, you can see the northbound lanes. Those have gotten pretty loaded up since we first started this morning. It started off a little bit busier than what we were experiencing on I-94, and it's only gotten more so since that time. So be prepared for a little bit more of a competitive traffic flow on I-29, especially around that 12th Avenue area. Turning onto 12th Avenue right now with the traffic flow as backed up as it is in that area because of the construction can get pretty hazardous. So just be prepared for sudden stops because the traffic is in a solid line all the way back to the interstate. So be prepared for that on 12th Avenue. Looking up ahead on I-94 right now, a bit more of a traffic flow than what we were experiencing this morning, but overall still not quite as busy as the northbound lanes of I-29. So that's going to be where you're going to be running into some delays. Here in the south, though, as you can see, not a whole lot going on around me. We're going to keep checking out the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
It's now 5 minutes before 7. We have new information this morning on a deadly rollover in the Southern Valley that we first told you about yesterday on the Valley Today. The North Dakota Highway Patrol is now identifying the victim as 16-year-old Tanner Peterson of Foreman, North Dakota. Troopers say he was driving on Sargent County Road 4 just north of Cogswell Monday night when his car hit a deer and rolled multiple times in a ditch. Troopers say Peterson was thrown from the vehicle during the rollover and died on the scene. The North Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating a crash involving a motorcycle and a West Fargo police squad car. It happened last night at 6th Street and 12.5 Avenue East. Reports indicate the police car may have backed into the motorcycle. Luckily, no one was hurt. The person riding the bike declined medical attention. The parents of a 2-year-old child are in a Minot jail after their child was found wandering around alone yesterday afternoon. Police say a passerby spotted the child walking on the sidewalk wearing a diaper but no pants or shoes. Neighbors helped police identify the child's parents. Police say they arrested a 27-year-old man and 24-year-old woman for child neglect. A North Dakota woman was injured by a bison at Theodore Roosevelt National Park this week, and the animal was put down. Park officials say the woman was hiking when she encountered a bull bison. It charged, hit her in the face, and knocked her down. The animal remained nearby as the woman called 911 while on the ground. A park ranger who responded found the bull still standing near the woman, showing signs of aggression, and was not responsive to hazing measures. Officials say the ranger had to shoot the bison to prevent further harm to the woman. The woman was treated at the scene and then taken by helicopter to Minot. Shanley High School in Fargo is returning some normalcy to the school year today. They're holding an in-person graduation ceremony and will allow parents of the graduates to attend under certain COVID-19 conditions. The ceremony takes place today at 5 at the school's football stadium. The school will be implementing a number of safeguards for the graduation, including social distancing, control of the number in attendance, and everyone needs to wear a face mask. Hundreds of parents are petitioning the Fargo Public School District, however, to allow them to attend spring graduation ceremonies. The petition comes after both Fargo and West Fargo schools announced last week that while in-person ceremonies will be held, spectators will not. School officials say when their original plan of 2 guests per graduate was shared with local health care experts, they were highly encouraged to take a more conservative approach with no guests at the graduation ceremonies. As we head into the summer months, both Fargo and West Fargo are allowing some summer activities like baseball, softball, soccer, tennis, and some art programs to open if the activities can allow for social distancing. For activities that are being held, they have increased cleaning. They have to wear masks, and everyone is trained about the protocols they need to follow. indoor facilities are still closed. The FM Redhawks season is still on hold, but one of their most popular traditions is still a go. The ball club is hosting a free fireworks show Friday, May 29th at Newman Outdoor Field. Fans are encouraged to attend, but they should stay in their vehicles at one of the parking lots near the stadium. Lots on the 29th open at 8 p.m. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. The average guy thinks about this 6 times a day, but the average woman thinks about it 40 times a day. What are we talking about? Their hair. That makes sense. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. That's where we post the question. We would love to have you join the conversation. We want to thank you for tuning in to the Valley today, and we want to assure you that we are working hard to make sure you're staying informed during this COVID-19 pandemic. There are several ways for you to do that, including valleynewslive.com, our VNL News app, and also our Valley News Live Facebook page, all for free, with no registration required. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but remember, the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live, up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.